Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Ding, 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 ding. Fancy draft time. Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in the virtual room filled with lions. I've got Ollie, I've got Chris, and I want to know what their moments from this bank holiday weekend were.
I just worked, to be honest. So I didn't really do it. Cause the nature of my work at the moment means that I can sort of work when I want. So I choose to have weekends in the middle of the week.
That's a bit like it's a bit like that's a bit like the people you cover.
Yeah, exactly. And so my weekends are now Tuesday and Wednesday. So Saturday, Sunday is just it's working days for me.
What about you, Chris?
Do you know what? I've had quite a quiet weekend.
Bingo card.
Yeah, I've done the Ollie.
It's a rare bingo card.
It's rare
not me.
one.
Yeah, I've had quite a chilled out, relaxing bank holiday weekend actually.
Fair play.
I'll tell you what I did do. I watched AC Milan draw 3-3 with Salernitana. That was decent. And Giroud scored in his last game for Milan.
Was there any tears as he finished?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Fair play to him though. He's got like 49 goals for Milan.
Wow.
He's only been there a couple of years. That's decent.
I'd take him now as a backup option.
Yeah, I think he got 15 goals in Serie A this season as well, which isn't bad.
That's not bad. No, not bad at all. Right. Mine was easily yesterday afternoon because I was chilling after my lunch on my computer and I got a Spotify notification that someone has made a comment on our episode where we went through our pre-season predictions on Friday. And yeah. And they informed me to take a look at a TikTok video from earlier this season. So hang on a minute. I'm just going to roll the VT on this TikTok.
Second with Carney Chukwemeka.
Aliens.
Aliens? No, man. I don't really know about aliens. Scary, innit? I'll be perplexed. Asking how his day is going. I don't know, I'd probably just run.
I'm sorry, but I predicted someone, a player or a coach would be asked about aliens this season in an interview or a press conference. My next trick will be I'll predict this week's lotto numbers and use the winnings to pay off Chelsea's PSR debt. Oh, bloody hell. I was so happy. I haven't got the name in front of me, but you know who you are listening. You legend, because I didn't even know that had happened. The fact that prediction came true. We just take the piss in that segment. The fact that it came true. Bloody hell. I might even use my winnings to buy some nice Sicilian lemons for the bowl Poch has left behind on the desk. Enzo might like some lemons. He might. Ooh.
Fair play to you.
I can't get over it. I honestly couldn't. I was so happy. Just over a TikTok. I didn't think I would say TikTok made me happy. Well, there we have.
Because usually you either knock it out of the park completely or you totally miss. This is again, it's a rare one where you started out, you thought you were wrong.
Yeah,
you turned out to be totally right.
I'm terrified what I'm going to predict next. I've got to be very careful. Yeah. Right. News time. Well, we all kind of know what's going to happen in the next few days. There's Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart have gone over to Marbella to talk to Enzo about this contract negotiation and all that sort of stuff. That's a lads' holiday. They're going to Marbella.
Just wanted some time in the sun, didn't they?
Behave. They're not going over there for business. They're going to get absolutely wankered, aren't they? I was quite interested. We'll touch on Enzo probably Friday. So Chris will be happy. Double Enzo this year.
Fuck's sake.
What I did find interesting was it was from senior correspondent Pete O'Rourke, who revealed that a lack of stability at Chelsea, obviously given the turnover of managers is causing bigger problems for the ownership. And that's because after obviously Poch's surprise sacking, dismissal, whatever we want to call it, sources have said that players were shocked and disappointed given that their turnaround in form. And Bowley's call has been described as a gamble as the owner looks to head in a new direction despite a strong end to the season and obviously growing possibility of a strong campaign next time.
Can we just dispel this myth for a minute?
I don't think it's all Bowley. If it's true he wants to sell his stake, he's not going to be doing anything, is he?
Bowley isn't running the club at the moment. His plan was always to do things at the start and then to back off, and that's what he's done. Egbali's making the majority of the decisions.
And Feliciano, isn't it?
Yeah, him as well.
Yeah.
Just like any budding journalists or anything, if you're listening, just read. It's not hard.
I think it's...
The thing is now, though, Bowley's like the scapegoat now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, unfairly.
And the club are really happy about that too. Like,
but do you know what? It's really good because it weeds out immediately people who know what they're talking about and people who don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had to check myself and learn that it isn't all Bowley. I've had to, rewind my opinion back because I didn't know. I'm one of those clowns going, it's Bowley's fault. It's not Bowley's fault. Sorry, Todd.
Well, there you go. There you go. And you know what? And it's never a failure if you learn. There you go.
We learn together. It was one thing that got confirmed over the weekend. Conference League. It's happening. Yeah. Man United won the FA Cup. We didn't expect that. I really did not expect that. But...
Trust Man City to let you down like that, honestly.
That's 116
it was a dead
charges.
Sir. It was a dead sir. Yes, of course it was a dead sir. They played the exact same. They played the exact same fixture last season, and Man City wiped the floor with them within a minute.
Yeah, but that was last season.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah. Like nobody would have expected.
Last season we were shit. To win this season we were a little less shit.
Man City was absolutely shit on Saturday.
They're on the beach.
They did look like they didn't give a shit, to be fair.
It's quite comical how the questions now are. Well, I saw, obviously, there's news that Guardiola might leave. And my favourite, I just was looking through, so I did dive into the subreddit of Man City. I did. It needed a shower after. But what I did notice was some fans were saying, we only won one trophy this season. And rumours, obviously, Guardiola might leave at the end of his contract. Wouldn't be the worst thing. I just love that. That's not even...
They think that now until they see the short list of people to replace him. And fucking hell.
Has nobody
when they've got Thomas Frank on the touchline?
Whoa. Do not diss a fellow Dana.
Do you know what? You know what, though? The Conference League thing, can I just say, has really highlighted actually how entitled our fan base are. The fact that they think at the minute that the Conference League is beneath us. People saying, just put the academy kids out, throw the competition. We want to concentrate on the league. Or imagine, I'd rather not have Europe because of it'll cause more injuries. Well, we didn't have Europe this year and we had pretty much every single player in our squad injured. So I don't know where they're getting that narrative from, that more games equals more injuries. It's more likely to get injuries, but it's not always a case of you get more injuries. Man City and Liverpool for the last 5 years have been playing 60-odd games a season and have had much less injuries than we have. So that whole narrative of, if we play in Europe and we take it seriously, we're bound to get more injuries is just bullshit. And if people think that the minute...
way, if we get more injuries, hopefully you'd think eventually some of the younger kids will get a chance to play, see what they've got.
But people actually think as well that we could put our academy kids out and win the competition still. It won't happen because we are the only country in the world who don't take this competition seriously. Everywhere else, it's seen as a major European competition and they play the games that way. We are just a ridiculously entitled country who suddenly think that little competitions like the Europa League and the Conference League are beneath our clubs because our clubs are so good. No, we're not. We're actually lucky to be in the Conference League because in December,
last season we were none.
It looked like we was going to be in the Johnson's Paint Trophy more often than we was going to be in Europe. So I think people should be actually glad that we're there at all. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're right. You're right, Chris. I mean, look at Roma. Roma, that would you go tell that, and West Ham. Well, West Ham aren't. Oh, bollocks. Screw them. Roma, just Roma. Roma won it, and they were so happy to win that trophy. They were not looking. And to be fair,
Exactly.
West Ham did as well. But I guess that depends on what. Like when it's a top 6 club, they do sort of shrug it and go, "Don't really care."
Yeah.
Weren't
But you
Villa
should.
weren't Villa knocked out by Olympiacos, or was that the Europa?
Yes,
No,
that's the Europa Conference.
that was right.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean. It's like, like they came fourth this season. They've got Champions League football, and they,
Yeah.
they were outdone by
Exactly.
Olympiacos, who like great big club, great European club, but they're not like the best team in the world. Like
That's why
you would assume Villa would win.
Yeah, people online saying that hands down, whoever comes in has to win that competition. They seem to think that it is really easy, but Villa are a better team than we currently are.
Oh
with
yeah.
a better manager, and couldn't win it.
And
it's not
the
that
way they
easy.
lost it as well. They lost 6-2 on aggregate. They got
Yeah,
battered.
it weren't close.
No. I saw Unai Emery actually had a new deal, a 5-year deal. I swear he's already signed another new deal.
It's probably
thought he
just
had
to
to.
fatten up his.
It's just like
fatten
more
up
money,
his
more
release
money,
clause.
more money.
Yeah.
Do you want
It's more
some
money. Give him, his release clause like up. It's like what? It's
Yeah,
something
because
stupid.
smart clubs at the minute don't want to get rid of their manager.
Is it because of the Mad Max well of dryness that it is when you look at the pool of managers? Like, well, yep, that's available. We'll take that. On the topic of managers, I mean, because Enzo isn't official, so who cares? We're going to step up to the podium and we're going to each draft some selections for who we want to be Chelsea's next puppet, or head coach is the official term we've got to give them. Snake draft rules would apply, and we've given ourselves
I prefer doormat.
doormats. You just looking at the back of Enzo's head if there's a footprint. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Bald head.
Right. Each one has to be flawless because there's only 2. So I've got the randomizer for the list here. So I actually don't know who's going to get the first pick. And it's Ollie, then me,
Ooh.
then Chris. Oh, Ollie,
Okay.
who's your first pick?
Rogue one. I'm gonna go with Cesc Fabregas.
Nice.
Oh, he was on
Yeah.
mine too.
If you're gonna go for an inexperienced manager, you may as well go the whole fucking hog and have him not even
Yeah.
have his badges yet. Do the full
Yeah.
will still, firm the fine, and just stick with him because it's Fabregas. He and we know how good midfielders become as managers. We just know it. Like all the best managers at the moment seem to be midfielders outside of like a few. I don't know. It feels
Yeah.
that way, doesn't it? You got Arteta, you got
That's true.
Pep. They were both like, expert midfielders.
Xabi
I don't know.
Alonso.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I think there's a level of intelligence there that he because he was able to play the game the way he did, he probably understands the game really well, and that means he could coach it really well. And you can see already the benefits of him being assistant manager at Como. They've been promoted to Serie A for the first time in however many decades. So, clearly something's working. Obviously, it's a massive gamble, but why not? I mean, if you're going to go for someone like Maresca anyway, who's really that much more experienced than him.
You've missed a point there, Ollie. Pochettino, what position did he play? Defender.
Midfield.
Shit. No, he was a defender. He was shit. But guess what
Potter was a
position?
defender as well.
Guess what? Guess who Enzo Maresca played as? Midfielder. There we go. We're winning the Champions League. We're not in it, but when we do, we're going to win it.
I always get the weird one when it's Nuno Espirito Santo was a goalkeeper.
Yes, he was. He was in the Porto team that lifted the
And I
Champions
was
League
like,
under
what?
Jose.
Really?
Yeah, he was he on the bench?
I don't know. You just don't
Fix
tend
a
to see
Bayern
many
goal?
goalkeepers. They see the game in a sort of a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Walter Zenga. I remember him at Wolves. Didn't end well.
Anyway.
Yeah. Right. I go to myself, and I really hope that Chris didn't pick this because this would be just unfair. And my first pick will also answer the questions that we had sent in by Alexander and No Lawsco, and that's Xavi. I went with Xavi, midfielder. He's got hair. That's always good.
Yeah.
He's got that emphasis on possession-based football that our ownership wants. Quick passing, high pressing. He's always tactically flexible. And hey, look, he's proven. He's obviously led Barca to domestic and European victories. Well, he won some, games in Europe, but he won the titles. That's what's important.
He won the Liga, didn't he? To be fair.
Exactly. And he
against
integrated
Ancelotti as well.
Yeah, that's exactly. And he integrated the young players from, La Masia You know, he's got leadership skills. He's got team spirit. He's proven to develop the young players, of course. He's got great values. He's a professional. Hey, he even said he was going to leave, and then he went, no, I'm going to stay, and then got sacked for it. So don't do that. And there was one thing when I was looking him up. I was looking up Xavi's thing, why he'd fit, and it says Xavi is known to incorporate data and technology in football strategy. He's ticked all the boxes of our ownership, hasn't he? Data.
Fair.
Oh, data.
Yeah, except unless if that data isn't what Barley wants to see, and then in which case they'll just go with what he says.
Yeah, and hey, he's shown he can win trophies using young players, and he plays good football. And he won't be when we replace Enzo one day, but he's currently free, so no expense paid there. I mean, maybe a massive signing on fee he won the lottery in Qatar, so he probably doesn't need a nice signing on fee anymore. Right, Ollie. No, Chris. Sorry, Chris nearly lost everyone then. Chris, who's your pick? Who was it?
Can I just say before I say anyone, that I actually found this really difficult because, quite frankly, I don't really want anybody, which is a real problem. So even the people I'm about to say, I wouldn't be buzzing if we got them. So
yeah,
what about yourself? You could have put yourself as a manager.
Thing. Yeah, why not? So my first pick is actually Maurizio Sarri.
Oh God!
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. He's managed in the league before. He's managed us before. He's on record saying that he prefers to be a coach than a manager. Tick. That's all they want.
Yes.
So plays possession-based football. And despite all of the problems I think we had under him, I do think he's the last Chelsea manager who came in and identifiably changed our style of play and managed to actually implement what he wanted to do, and it was really noticeable.
Yeah,
I would buy that, except the only thing is the other parts of him are diametrically opposed to what the ownership want, because they don't want an old manager, and I don't know how old Sarri is, but he's
65.
65, but he's been smoking for so long, he probably looks about 80.
Bless him.
And and on top of that as well, he'll want a say in the transfers for sure. I know it says he only wants to be a coach, but like, for example, when he came over to us the first time and he brought Jorginho over from Napoli, like, clearly he's going to want some of his kind of players at the club.
Yeah, but I think the thing is with him, I think he'd turn Enzo into that. And everyone's crying out to get the best out of Enzo. So apparently our entire team's got to be built around Enzo. So why not just go for it? But like I said, I mean, the manager pool is absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's been it seemed such a smart move in my head to leave it another year with Pochettino. Yeah. Keep the stability. Yeah, the results will be what they are.
I was just looking,
and then you go for like someone like Xavi in 2025 on the team's on a much better footing, a bit more stable, a bit more gelled together as well. Like, I don't know, it seems a real gamble going for anyone now.
I'm quite impressed that Sarri's win percentage is actually really high. I mean, it's 61.9. That's higher than Jose Mourinho's second spell, higher than Rafa, higher than Tuchel, higher than Poch. Wow, that is actually quite shocking.
And to be fair, he's gone back to Lazio. He's
higher than Carlo. Wow.
He's kept them around the sort of top 6, top 7.
And then he left. Well, he got sacked.
To me, though, the thing is, for me, is Sarri is just a better version of De Zerbi, and I didn't really want him. So
I thought that was nailed on. I was convinced that was nailed on.
I was absolutely convinced we were going to get.
It felt too easy. It felt too. It just felt.
It just seemed
surreal
like
when it happened.
The slam dunk thing, like fever dream-esque sort of thing that the club would do.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be shocked if it was him.
Yeah,
it still could be.
We're going to Marbella to visit De Zerbi. What is he in Marbella? He is now.
That much hair jelly must be.
Oh, bloody hell! Right, Chris had Cesc stolen. Do you have any other options? As your
I've got one because I mean, if we're going down the route that we're going down, I would like someone who is young in manager terms, but has actually fucking won something. So I'd go with Zidane.
Oh, bold. Always works.
I
Most
do
of our team
think,
speaks French.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I do think Zidane is still to be tested as a manager because I don't know
Yeah.
how much you can read into his Champions League wins because his record looks great, but he did have Kroos, Modric, Bale, Ronaldo at his peak. So how hard was it to win the Champions League with those teams? So I still think he's to be tested as a manager. So he is still a risk, but he instantly commands respect.
Yeah,
As both a player and a manager, because he can still walk in and put those medals on the table and say, "This is what I've done. What have you lot done? Nothing." So I think he commands respect. I don't know whether his style of play is exactly what we're looking for because Real Madrid wasn't a heavy possession based team, but I don't want that anyway. I'd prefer to have a team that played good football rather than just kept the ball for 84 passes to win a corner and then don't score from it.
There's only one thing. Do you know what? I completely agree with you, Chris. Although I did see one thing that kind of pulled me towards it in theory. If we have more possession, we'll probably get fewer injuries because we're not running as hard.
Yeah, that's
I hadn't thought about it that way before. Like I can't claim it's my idea, but like that is an upside to that sort of possession based ball that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, that is true, but that doesn't help if you're not winning games.
No, very true.
Having everyone fit and not winning games, but having loads of the ball.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Oh my word. Oh dear. Right. My second pick, and you can see how seriously I took this after Xavi. I select the manager of the local dog and pheasant Sunday team. And I'll tell you why, Chris. I'll tell you why, Chris. That guy, he's got unmatched passion. He's got commitment that I don't think you can buy. And I've seen him do his enthusiastic pub speeches after a Friday night. He's always there, even when most players are calling in sick after a heavy Saturday night of drinking. I find that's dedication. So that's a box tick. Tactics. He's got motivational techniques. Promising a round of drinks for every goal scored. And what did we have with Poch that we were always worried about? Halftime team talks. This guy, legendary. You'll hear a lot of shit and fucking shit flying around, along with some dramatic arm movements, but you won't get a second half slump under this guy. I promise you. Promise you that.
You know what's funny is that like lump it to the big man is quite literally the meta in terms of like tactics at the moment.
It'll work. It'll work. And
you always get back to the old classics.
And we want to see this attacking football, beautiful football. So what can he bring training wise? Well, his fitness routines. Forget the cones, forget the rondos. We're talking about dodging pint glasses, navigating crowded pub gardens. Just imagine him, Mudrick under this guy, dropping the shoulder, dodging a tackle, weaving in and out and still getting a £10 tip at the end. Practical training. It's what we need. And finally, people skills. We all need them. Next level. He's got a personalised approach, negotiating playing time with promises, obviously, post-match crisps and pints. You want minutes on the pitch? Better love those salty snacks and cold drinks then. So yeah, I think this guy's passionate, resourceful. He's got a sense of humour. It's what we need. What we need. He turned Barry Beers from a no one into Optimus Prime. Sign him up. Done. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm very serious.
Optimus Prime is outrageous, by the way.
Thank you. Right, Ollie, round it out. Unless you just, we found our man.
How'd you follow that, right? But, I would go like bringing it back a little more serious. I would pick an actual manager rather than the dog and pheasant Sunday.
You're sleeping on him. You're sleeping.
Yeah, do you know what? Maybe I am. But I would actually go with someone who I think has been on my radar for quite a long time, but he's only really kind of just exploded into the managerial space, and that's Thiago Motta. Like what he's done with Bologna this season has been really impressive. Gotten them back into the Champions League for the first time in however long. And like, he's like, you want to talk about a tactical visionary. Like he looks at things very, very differently. And it would be a real breath of fresh air to go rather than someone like more of a De Zerbi, who's very sort of quite rigid and takes the creativity out of the game a little bit. You have someone like Motta who just looks at the game in such a totally different way that like, you play differently by default. I don't know. It seemed like a really interesting idea. I think he's clearly a decent enough coach. He's Italian, as Chelsea heritage.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got hair, hasn't he? Yeah, I think
he's
he
a
does.
midfielder.
Yeah, and there you
Midfielder.
go, another midfielder. So you know,
he has got a
boxes.
job. He has got a job, unless Juventus, do some dodgy stuff.
It's
Allegedly,
a good point. It's
allegedly.
Yeah.
Always
It's a
say
good
allegedly. Point. Have I got news for you? Taught me that allegedly. You can never get in trouble. Allegedly, they could do dodgy stuff. Yeah. Oh, I think that's a good top 6, I do. And some of them will probably be
That's a better
manager.
shortlist. That's a better shortlist than we have now.
Including the dog and pheasant god.
yeah, especially the dog and pheasant.
I'll tell you, as soon as Chris dropped that, and I thought of this episode, I thought, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Who was the most surprising name on that shortlist, Bob? Like, not ours, but on the actual shortlist for you guys?
Thomas Frank, 100%.
Fuck off.
All of them.
No, like I just didn't expect to see him there. I just didn't think I wasn't thinking maybe as creatively as they were. But actually, I know that Thomas Frank is quite a respected person in the industry, a bit like Pochettino in a sense. But of course, it makes sense for him to be on the shortlist, with what he's done with Brentford and the sort of environment that they work in. But it's a bit like we took all of Brighton's best people, and now we've just moved on to Brentford. Like we've taken the set coach. We're looking at their manager as well. Like it would, we'll buy Ivan Toney in the summer. Just what?
I'll be honest. I'm quite glad to see Kieran McKenna didn't join because I want to see what he can do with Ipswich, and I'm being serious there. I'm not taking the mick. And
do you think he can keep them up?
I didn't think they'd get promoted from the Championship at the start of the season.
They've got absolutely no chance of staying up. Zero. No chance at all.
I have to agree. They're going to get battered.
There is more chance of them beating Derby's low points record than them staying up.
Do you know what? I think you're not wrong about that because, what was it? Burnley came up with the highest points total ever in the Championship.
No, that can't be the highest because Reading had the highest, didn't they?
Maybe it's in the modern variant. I don't know however many teams.
Yeah, they still absolutely slaughtered the Championship.
Yeah, they completely wiped the floor with the Championship, and they didn't really even get close to not getting relegated this season.
Because the thing is with Ipswich, and the reason why they won't stay up, and it won't be the manager's fault, and it won't be the players' fault, but they've got a League One squad in the Premier League.
They've also got a League One a lot of the time now they've got a bit of a League One kind of facility. They're a massive club, don't get me wrong, but obviously when you spend quite a few more years out of the top division, your club doesn't make as much money. Things have to downgrade, and when you're in League One, you've got all your stuff is League One. Really.
And I tell you what, they won't spend the money either on Premier League players to keep them up because realistically they'll be planning to go back down again, so they'll only want at most Championship quality players for when they go back down. That tends to be what these clubs do now. If Kieran McKenna stays at Ipswich and doesn't go to Man United, and he stays at Ipswich, if he keeps them up, by all means give him the Chelsea job because that will be the biggest miracle since Leicester won the league.
It just makes me chuckle because I saw something on Man United and it said about, fair fucking play to Ten Hag for saying, look, I win trophies. I loved that attitude. It was a proper hey, Jim, you're watching? Fuck off. Because I saw that United have said that they will only fire him if there's better options out there. I'll put it here. There isn't. There isn't. What are you thinking?
There isn't. And Ten Hag shit, but...
I think Pochettino's better than Ten Hag.
No, he's not. No. Poch hasn't won anything.
I honestly do.
Don't do the PSG thing. Ten Hag's won at Old Trafford. He's won at that Man United.
Yeah.
2 trophies. How?
So.
How?
You know what? Trophy logic, it doesn't lie. That's fair enough.
They did play Newcastle without a goalkeeper in the League Cup final last year. I think if Nick Pope's in goal, I don't think Man United win that game because that to have Karius in goal. And let's face it, if Karius plays in a cup final, he fucks up. That's just the rule.
I know, but it's the thing. I'll say, look, if a dog had a square arse, it would shit blocks. It's a hypothetical. It doesn't matter. They won it. They've still won a trophy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Poch will go, look, you had Messi, but I still stand by Messi, Mbappe, and not Suarez, Neymar. And how did you not win it?
If you look at, to be fair to Poch though, if you look at our semi-final against Man City and and Man United's final, there was exactly the same game. It's just they finished their chances when they came, and we
that's
didn't.
story of our season, really. But
We played. I would actually argue that we actually played better against Man City in the semi-final than Man United did in the final. But they scored when they needed to,
I
and
think
that's what we
overall
didn't do.
Chelsea put up the best performances against Man City this season.
Yeah, I'd agree.
yeah. Right, there we go. There's our draft. And I'm going to go to Quaresma's questions. And just the one. It's a bloody good question. And it's not quite on trend or on topic, but it's on trend, but it's not on, all the manager stuff. It's none of that. And Kayla, you'll like this, Chris. Kayla's asked, what do you think about Southgate leaving out Reece James and Ben Chilwell from the England squad?
It's good for us.
Yeah, that's true. They can't get injured.
But also, I think that neither of them merited to go. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't really think any of them can moan. I mean, Reece James both of them have spent more time in the treatment room than on the pitch. And then when Reece James did come back, he got himself stupidly sent off, which would have been a red flag going into a tournament anyway. We have enough right backs, let's be honest. The only reason why I think Chilwell being left out is a bit of a shocker is because he's only took one left back, and that's Luke Shaw, who hasn't kicked a ball since January.
He loves Luke Shaw though. But he's got his favourites. Like even if you took Chilwell, Luke, he wouldn't see a single minute.
No, he wouldn't. So
it's like Chilwell's not really missed anything anyway. You could argue even Reece is the same. Like I don't think any. We don't have a serious England manager at the moment, and I'll believe that till the day he's gone. I think in terms of the Euro, I don't think we've got much chance of winning the Euros anyway. So like, why would it matter what Chelsea players go and don't?
Think you'll beat Denmark?
No, probably not.
Good answer. Right, we are actually going to do a quiz. So of course we have. It's not the longest of episodes, but hey, no, Monday we're chilling. Ross Turnbull's Tenaball, and this week's category is Europa League top scorers. And I want you to work together to name the top 10 goal scorers from the 23-24 season of the Europa League. That is this season's competition that ended. 14 names on the list, due to 10 being tied on 5 goals each. So you just need 10 of them 14. Just 10. You just need 10. Work together, you'll get it.
All right. Chris, who is Leverkusen's main striker this season? Boniface?
Victor Boniface, yeah.
He is one on that list, yeah.
Romelu Lukaku will be on there because he scored in every round, I think.
Yeah, he's on there. That's 2 of 10.
Who else?
I
don't think who else is in that Leverkusen squad.
I want you to get all of them because I've practiced pronouncing the names.
Is
Grimaldo? He scored a lot.
No.
Ademola Lookman?
Yes.
Yeah.
3.
Scamacca?
Yes, he's on there.
That'll be it probably from Atalanta.
Yeah, that you pretty
Salah?
right there. Salah is on there. Yeah.
Darwin Núñez.
Wait.
Yes.
Milan were in it, weren't they, this season?
Were they?
Yeah,
no.
I think.
Were they?
I think they were.
They were in the Champions League, weren't they?
Yeah, but didn't they come bottom of their third in their group?
Oh, yeah, they've stopped doing that this season, haven't they? No, next season anyway.
Yeah,
good.
So I want to say Giroud.
No.
Oh.
But that was a good shout.
Who else was in there?
You've done
Jared
all right.
Bowen?
Jared Bowen? No. You got 6 of 10 so far. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Like McAllister?
It's Florian Wirtz in there.
No, he did not get in the top 10. 14, whatever.
Did we say McAllister?
No, but he's not on there either. You've said, I'll give you but you've done all Liverpool. Liverpool's complete. There was only 2.
Done Liverpool. Done Atalanta, I reckon.
Dybala?
Yes. No, he's not.
Dybala's a good shout though.
I can give you the clubs.
Well, you're gonna have to because
Yeah, you'll get. I'll go from the
we'll
bottom
be here
up.
all night. Otherwise.
If you get the next, so there's a club from Azerbaijan. It's the one you're thinking of. Yeah, it's Karabag. But the name is a very famous name for a Brazilian player. So you could just sort of throw out famous midfielders that were Brazilian and you probably get it.
Romario.
No.
Fernando.
No. I love this player, but he didn't play. This isn't the same player. Same name, but it's not Kaka.
Kaka.
It's the other midfielder.
Oh, Paulinho.
Paulinho. I don't fucking like him. It's the guy who played for Leon. That name.
Oh, Juninho.
Juninho. I have no idea what this Juninho for Karabag is. Born in 96.
Never heard of him.
No.
Karabag Juninho.
Karabag Juninho. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was on there, so there's something.
Right, fair play to him.
Yeah. I should have really gone. You've got Sporting Lisbon. I think that's
Victor Gyokeres.
he's on there. Yeah. Marseille.
Aubameyang.
Yes, that's the Marseille one.
Oh, Aubameyang. Yeah, he
You've
was good
still
in that,
got
yeah.
a
Had a good year,
Leverkusen.
didn't he?
You've got a Leverkusen to go.
Oh, who's the right back for that?
Not a right, but he's a forward. He's forward.
Ah.
Patrick Schick.
Patrick Schick. West Ham.
Kudus.
Kudus is on there. And Brighton?
Brighton.
Right,
Yeah.
Ferguson.
No. The penalty
know.
merchant. They call him the penalty merchant, don't they?
Oh,
Grob?
Pascal Gross.
No, this
Rob.
this
Name's Grob.
is the guy that everyone went, oh, he's really good at Brighton. And then you look and you go, he scored about like 15 penalties.
Oh, is it Welbeck?
No, he ain't that good.
Oh, no.
Welbeck's never that good. We've been, I swear we've been linked with him. Of course we've probably been.
I thought Gross was their penalty taker.
No, he played for Watford.
Played for Watford.
Apparently he's the next best thing as a striker. So we're after him.
Oh, João Pedro.
João Pedro. I don't think you'll get the other two. Freiburg and where's the other club? Panathinaikos. These are the names I've practiced. So
But can tell you right now, we're not getting Panathinaikos.
no.
We've got
Right.
half a chance of getting Freiburg.
So
Half a chance. At
no, you
Freiburg,
haven't.
But
No, you ain't. I can't see. So you've got for
No, you haven't.
Freiburg.
Right, well done. Great quiz.
I do know one Freiburg player.
Go on.
Is it Grifo?
Well, that's not how I wrote this name down. I've
It's
been-
Grifo, the Italian left winger.
No, this guy
Oh,
is
no.
Mikhail.
He's good though.
Mikhail Gregovic. That's the
Never heard of him.
pronunciation I found on YouTube. And for
Never heard of him.
Panathinaikos, Fotis Ioannidis. That's
Oh,
again.
remember him? No,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
No one knows him.
I kept thinking that was the guy we were linked with, but that wasn't who we were linked with in January. It was the
That guy's
one
own mum doesn't know who he is. Like,
That's yeah. Who was the guy we were linked with from? He was Greek. I know he's Greek, and he plays for AZ Alkmaar. Fuck
No,
me.
God.
What was his name? Let me find it. This is the name. I've nailed two names in a row. Now I'm going to butcher one. Pavlidis. Pavlidis. That was the one.
Pavlidis. Okay.
Pavlidis or Pavlidis.
I don't know who that is.
Vangelis. Yeah, he's pretty good at AZ Alkmaar. 59 and 96.
In fairness,
29
though,
in
I don't-
34.
I don't think we did too bad there, Ollie.
That was a
No,
solid.
I thought
That
we
was a
did all
solid.
right.
That was a solid one. I must admit, good performance.
Like, who the fuck knows Panathinaikos players?
hey, do
Honestly,
you not
this
remember
se- this
Sortis
season-
Ninis?
Last season, I got so embarrassed, like when, by losing quizzes so often that I knew I had to brush up. This
Yeah.
season. I had to step my
Uh,
game up for this shit. But
You're
I don't
still-
know. I don't know Serie A players from the 90s. Fucking hell.
Chris's special subject. That right.
That is, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the episode. Treat yourself well. We'll be back on Friday. What will we be discussing? That was up to Chelsea because if they make their manager announcement, it's Enzo tactics, isn't it? And if it's not, then it was going to be
Double Enzo. Woo.
bloody double Enzo. Yeah, you better. I think it'll be Enzo tactics anyway, because it's going to get announced, so it's just easier. But yeah, till then, that's going to be us signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.